Everyone. I wanted to just take a couple minutes and do a video on a challenge that I'm asking everyone to think about, and that has to do with curriculum night. Curriculum night's coming up, and you may have your keynote or PowerPoint ready to go, or you might have to refresh it from a couple years ago or last year, and you kind of update it. And I just wanted to take a couple moments to just share with you um, something that I think we can do to really help our parents understand what we're trying to accomplish, what we're trying to create in every classroom within that culture of thinking and how we're developing that. So, you remember at our staff meeting, our opening day, I had to make a lot of decisions about what I felt was the most important message to give you right before school was starting. And as a beginning principal early in my career, I went heavy on logistics. I wanted to talk about duty schedules and how were things going to be dismissed and all things to do with logistics. Felt like it was necessary for a smooth operation, but it also was a time filler because early in my career I didn't know really what to say or what was important in terms of moving a building forward. Um, we did a different we structured logistics in a different way. We shared it through a Google Doc, and those things can be discussed um, in future days and future months about working out logistics. But I'll never get an opportunity again to meet with you for a long period about developing a more elevated and complex topic like developing a culture of thinking within your classroom. So we went heavy on that day. And I'm asking you to do the same thing with parents. So think about if your previous curriculum nights were heavy on logistics, when A day is, B day is, C day is, how birthday treats run. Think about packaging that in a different way, either in a newsletter or your website or a Google Doc, something, so you can spend more time with them talking about how their child will grow as a thinker. You can certainly talk about content and what they're going to be exploring and learning about. Those are all valuable. But this whole notion, again, growing thinkers at the bottom of our website, what does that look like to a parent? That's going to be hard for them to wrap their head around. It's still sometimes hard for us to wrap our heads around that. So think about opportunities you can give parents to get that little open to seeing that window of the world that their child will be experiencing each and every day within your room. I thought Blair had a great idea. She said, you know what? Use that CSI, color, symbol, image, thinking routine as a way to learn about, as a way for parents to share with you as teacher about their child. Many of you probably have done this before in the past, but it may have looked like here's 6 to 10 questions about your child's favorite sport, color, interest, worry, and then parents take a few minutes to jot down fill in the blank answers. Fine, it works. I mean, it's okay. But I wonder if it models the kind of deep thinking that we want kids to experience. So her suggestion of a color symbol image experience really got me thinking. So I said, what if a teacher did that for Dawn and me? What if they asked me to do a color symbol image thinking routine with about Ben, our fifth grader, our current fifth grader? So I did it. So I just took it took me about 5 minutes. And the color I chose for him was green. It's his favorite color, and I would want perhaps a teacher to know that. But more importantly, this green represents growth, and growth has always been a challenge for him, more often physical. So he's small in stature, and he's insecure about that. We're always trying to think about getting him to eat more so he can grow because it's a worry for him. We want him to grow mentally and cognitively, of course, but I would want his teacher to know that's sort of, as going into fifth grade, he's worried about his height, and growth is really important to him. The symbol I chose was 4/5 because it relates to math. He wants to be a great math student. He's so excited about mathematics. However, math is not very easy for him. In fact, I chose this fraction because it feels like for him he's not quite a whole math student. So I don't even know if he has mastered the entire fourth grade curriculum at this point. So I use 4 as the numerator to represent him as a math student, some of his challenges that he'll experience. So I'm hoping that by the end of that 5th grade year, it'll be 5/5, 1 whole. And then the image that I chose for him was a tree. Again, going back to growth, because we want him to grow both mentally and emotionally and physically, but also that we're trying to develop deep roots within him as parents, and we want teachers to partner with us to do that. But I put some blue in there as wind because he still is influenced by his friends and what's popular and what's cool, and sometimes he can sway in ways that we want to just keep in check, kind of like what every parent experiences. So. Wow, when I did this morning, my thinking was much deeper about him. What a powerful way it would be for a teacher to say, so how was your thinking different when you had to do this versus perhaps a sheet of paper I gave you that you had to fill in the blank? Have teachers draw that, or parents draw that comparison. What did they need to do differently in terms of their own thinking around this experience? Make it clear for them. Say, this isn't our content. This is not our curriculum, but this is how we develop their thinking. Bring them back to this understanding map. Whoops, it's upside down. Bring them back to this. Show them what we're trying to do. That thinking are those routines that we do in math and science and social studies and language arts to create understanding. Show this thinking map. Bring their CSI out. Have them connect. What did they have to do as a thinker? And where did it track in one of these boxes? What did they have to, what type of thinking was going on in their mind to create understanding about their child? This doesn't have to be your activity. Do something else. Brainstorm with someone. I guess my point here is this. Get creative. Take a risk. Do something different. Excite your parents. Get excited about this experience so your parents walk away saying, oh my gosh, that was unique. I don't fully maybe understand what's happening here, but that was unlike something I ever experienced. Talk to me about an idea. I was talking to a teacher this morning, and they were saying, if you had this activity, you could use it in other content areas, and it could be almost a pre-assessment, post-assessment. How did your symbols and colors and images changed when you first learned about this content, and how is it different now? Never thought of that. I never thought of that. I thought it was a great idea. So I thought this was going to be a 3-minute or 3-minute video. I'm at 7 minutes and 47 seconds. Shocker. Again, Scott's talking and doesn't know when to kind of end it. But again, curriculum night, I plan to help parents see the power of developing this culture of thinking within the building. Join me. Do something different. I'm excited to hear how your ideas really help promote this, our mission to grow thinkers with parents. Have a great day. Come see me if you have any questions about this chat.